Okay. Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you today. We are going to be talking about holy hydrogen. We have Craig Smith here with us today. As you can see, we're out in the woods. We have better internet here, so it's interesting. It's nice to be out here, so that's good. How are you doing today, Craig?
Doing great, and I'm very jealous. I've got beautiful snow all around me, but it looks a lot warmer where you are. I love your backdrop. I love being in the mountains. I love being in nature. One of my favorite things. So I'm waiting for it to warm up here, melt some snow, so I can get on my kayak and get paddling around.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in Utah. I'm just right in the back of the mountains here, in about Utah County, it's called.
Okay, wow. That's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah. So, where did you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I really appreciate you guys having me on to be able to hopefully inspire your audience. I know there's a lot of questions out there about hydrogen, and I know you both are fans and probably have your stories. I would love to hear from those, and I'm happy to share, you know, my experience as well as some highlights from some of our incredible customers that are finding out and discovering the secrets of hydrogen for themselves. And you know, Nick and Crystal, I'm just one of those guys that says, you know, life leaves clues, right? And maybe there's some clues all around us about just how important hydrogen is, you know. And here at Holy Hydrogen, we just feel that we've partnered with biohacking's equivalent of essentially the Holy Grail. And you know, that sounds like a very bold statement, but if we look at the clues all around us, and even in back of you, you know, hydrogen is number one. And I say number one because it's number one. If we go back, I don't want to bore anybody, but go back to 8th grade science. Remember looking at those periodic charts, right, of elements? Hydrogen is number one on the periodic table of elements. It's the lightest and the smallest of elements, and yet it makes up 90% approximately of all the atoms in the universe, which equals approximately 75% of its mass. Meaning every star we look at up in the sky, the sun that brings life to this planet is primarily hydrogen. And then we look on our planet, right? And then we look at our bodies. We think mostly in terms of water, but sometimes people forget that the H in the H2O is hydrogen. 75% of our bodies, the oceans, our planets, the stars, the life-giving sun is hydrogen. And maybe with this clue, I'm just thinking, maybe we don't need less of it. Maybe we need more of it in our lives. And maybe that's why it's doing what it's doing, because it's the original building block of life. And so that gets me excited.
I know in my personal experience, drinking the hydrogen water with using the Holy Hydrogen machine, I do feel like more oxygenated and energized.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, one word that comes to almost everybody's mind that I talk to that's starting to discover hydrogen is the word crave. They crave the water. And right, what do you think?
Yeah, that's one of the number one things I wanted to bring to this interview was, it's not much. It's the best thing I could come up with is I crave that water. I don't want any other water. I really don't. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that was my first experience. I mean, I drank water before hydrogen water every single day, right? I tried to stay pretty hydrated, but it's nothing like this. I drink this and I'm ready to go get another pitcher and another pitcher. And just to let people know, if they're hearing for the first time, it only takes 10 minutes. You can do half a pitcher. We've got a 1.5 liter pitcher. Think of like a 2 liter bottle, but 1.5 liters. and it can be ready in either 10 minutes or the full thing in 30 minutes, and you can keep doing it over and over, and it takes care of a whole family, however many that is, all day long, not to mention the fact that you can switch lids with the same machine and then use the special cannula. It's made out of super dense materials, Japanese engineering, so that it gets all the way to your nose from the machine, so you can get that therapeutic benefit, so you can drink and breathe in one machine. We've got some people that are even doing two machines, one in the kitchen, and then they have one in their office. I mean, you can always port it, you can always bring it to your office, and then they sit and breathe hydrogen. There's a lot of people, as you guys know, that are doing this telecommute thing and working from home. Right. And they just sit and breathe while they do their emails in the morning, and then they go start drinking it all day. What are your thoughts, guys?
Do we know how much better breathing it is?
Yeah, that's everything. Although I can't give a specific protocol, because we're never going to make medical claims here, but we found that the people that are having the most profound impact, especially neurologically, neuroprotection, are the ones that are breathing it. If we're talking people that are suffering with neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, those that are in fine motor skills, those that breathe it have an incredible result with anything functioning with their mind, their brain. Drinking seems to go throughout the entire body, whether it's, I just received a testimony about endometriosis. Big deal, right? I mean, and we're talking IBS, and I don't want to be graphic, but as we know, IBS, it kind of goes one way or the other. You keep going, you go too much, or you can't go at all. And I have 3 ladies now that I personally know that have all told me their IBS is gone, one end or the other.
That's a tough one too.
Right. And going to the bathroom is not overrated, right? It's a normal function, but man, when you can't, or you can too much, it's no fun. And all they're doing, and in fact, one of the ladies, I hoping to put her interview, or just her little blurb she mentioned, we were just on a little Zoom call just like this, not doing an interview, just talking. And she says, Craig, I've been drinking the hydrogen water. I've been in big pharma for over 20 years. I understand the placebo effect. And I've struggled with IBS my whole adult life. And she's a middle-aged lady. And she says, quote, she just looked right at the camera and said, my IBS is gone. and I kind of got chills, and I'm thinking, wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's helping people who have been suffering for years, right?
Yeah, it has. And like you guys, I mean, you two are so connected with the planet, in my opinion. Just watching you, looking at your posts, they're always inspiring me, watching what you're saying and sharing, and just how you've shed so much of what I'll call kind of the world, or the materialism of the world, and the toxins and poison. See, we believe that the body is the miracle, right? It does the miracle. Just like a plant gets air, water, and sunshine. By the way, all related to hydrogen. Air, water, and sunshine, it does its miracle, right? You put a raspberry seed in the dirt, and you look at the dirt and you can't really find anything in the dirt, but then all of a sudden you get this beautiful raspberry, and it's got all these phytochemicals in anything. Where did that come from, right? You did air, water, and sunshine, boom, you've got raspberries. And just like a beautiful flower or fruit, maybe we're no different. Maybe
we are.
Right?
Yeah, very similar. I mean, we have different biological systems, of course, but so similar in our the things that we need.
Yeah, we're all made out of earth.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And hydrogen, right? We like to say health is a habit, not an event. right? And so people that are enjoying hydrogen and discovering hydrogen, some people say, you know what, it took 3 years for this gentleman for glaucoma. I've got stories in 17 days. I've got stories in just under a month, over and over and over. In fact, let me pull up, if I can pull up one thing. I just received this the other day. It's just out on our Facebook page, just facebook.com/holy hydrogen. You can go check out all these stories I might reference today. One of our amazing customers with the handle Open Your Mind said, quote, "The Lord's Hydrofix is helping me recover from an 18-month journey caused by the you know what." And he says, 7 weeks of using the machine, and I've had reduction in symptoms that I couldn't get in 18 months prior.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, when
Super powerful.
Yeah. And these stories I get over, and I get the opportunity to put them up there, you know, on social media and gather them. And, you know, as I was saying that, you know, the body does the miracle. All it needs is the proper raw materials to do its thing.
Right.
And we believe here at Holy Hydrogen, we are providing a device that gives the best raw material on the planet, provides the best raw material on the planet, hydrogen.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to talk a little bit about the machine itself and why it's superior to many others?
Yeah, and you'll know me. I'm never going to talk specifically about another maybe machine that's out there, but I will tell you, sadly, when something new or undiscovered comes along, there's a whole bunch of folks that like to jump on and just create or mimic or create you know, pretenders, I'll just say, and the engineering just gets thrown under the bus. You know, in Japan, I think we all understand they have superior engineering. I've got a Toyota truck sitting in my driveway right now outside that is pushing 200,000 miles, and the only thing I've changed on it is the battery.
Right.
I mean, they've got it figured out, and we've partnered with the team in Japan who have created this device that is of such powerful and incredible engineering that when you look at these little, I'll call them kind of wannabe water bottles or other machines that are trying, you got to look under the hood. It truly, you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
And quality. They say, you know, in real estate, it's location, location, location. Well, with hydrogen, it's all about quality. Why? Because now our bodies are involved. What I'm ingesting, inhaling is involved, and I want the best. Is it an investment? Yes. It's an investment in your health. It's not an expense. It's an investment. I tell people all the time, we do have payment plans available. We do have, you know, discount codes like yours that they can use to save $100 if you throw that out there with this. But I'm telling you what, the machine, I'll just highlight 3 areas of the machine. And one of those areas that is critical, if anybody's watching and they're asking me, what should I ask about my machine? Number one question you want to ask is, just to back up 2 seconds, when we're creating hydrogen and breaking apart H2O, it's a process of electrolysis to split those apart so that we can just take the pure hydrogen and then get it into our water with the machine. The key, though, is to make sure that electrolysis process happens separately than my water. What's happening out there is the vast majority of the machines are quasi water bottles that are stirring up water. They're directly electrolyzing the water, if they're even doing it at all. And I don't want directly electrolyzed water. I don't want it to change the pH of the water. I don't want it to perhaps put something else into the water through the process with the metals that are involved, because it involves really important metals. And If those are involved in the same place, there could be perhaps leaching engaged and involved. So with the Hydrofix, it happens underneath the pitcher that sits on top. There's a special cartridge and a separate water source. It can be any water, but the whole electrolysis process is separate. We call it dual chamber technology. It's non-electrolyzed hydrogen. It's a separate chamber. So the mechanics, the science happens separate from the water. That's number one. Two is the membrane. What happens is once that's happened, we've got a proprietary membrane that is also patented that only allows hydrogen ions to pass through it. So that's critical. Whatever that membrane is, it has to be a very critical. We've got a solid polymer to geek out if those are into the science, right? Electrolyte proton exchange membrane. It almost sounds like the Ghostbusters, but I'm telling you what, you only want pure hydrogen. Unlike other hydrogen devices, the electrolysis process, as I said, occurs completely separate. And so this membrane only allows hydrogen ions to pass through it. And finally, the third thing is, I would say, is the metal. The metals that are used with our technology generate ultra fine, what we call super nano hydrogen bubbles that no other machine that we're aware of creates. They're more stable and they're really more pure. And because of the metal we use, which is pure platinum and pure titanium, not plated, not coated. Again, you don't want any of that leaching into your water. These are the questions. And each of our machines comes with a manufacturer's warranty. It comes with a certificate of authenticity and a certificate of testing. They're each tested about 3 times before they ever leave to get to the end consumer. So those would be 3 key areas I would look for.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, you hear about these good deals you can get out there on other machines, but this is the real deal. We've had it, I don't know, how long have we had it? Over a year, probably. Yeah.
You truly get what you pay for, especially when you're dealing with Japanese. They're gonna zoom in and evaluate the exact price point. They're not gonna just throw whatever on it.
Yeah.
And didn't Yamaha and Toyota even help with this? I mean, everyone knows that they made.
We'll have to cut here for a moment.
No problem. We're even giving hydrogen water to the dogs, the pets. You know, that when it comes to the engineering, as we mentioned with the Japanese, the inspiration came from a scientist looking to help his daughter who had ALS. And, she, I believe, was around 5 at the time. And he had to figure something out. And hydrogen is a standard in Japan. They use it in the hospitals, in ambulances. And most Japanese households have access to hydrogen. It is so understood there and so little understood here. And the scientists that came together were not just in our camp. They came from many industries to add their knowledge because of the inspiration with this scientist, his daughter, who's now, if my understanding is right, she's now 12 years old and was expected to die when she was 5. So it was a beautiful story of humanity, of corporations coming together, bringing their best science to be able to create something that can sit on your counter. I mean, this thing doesn't take up, it's not like the size of a cooler or, a refrigerator,
like
or
a coffee maker.
Like a little coffee maker, right?
Yeah.
It can be portable. People go set it next to their tables at night so they can breathe with the cannula. They move it into their office. Some people get 2 machines. They put one in the office. They put one in the kitchen so they can just sit there and breathe all morning while they're working on their emails, as I said. But we've got some incredible fans like Greg, the Hydrogen Man. I mean, he is one of the most knowledgeable people around. We've got other scientists that are our friends as well. Dr. Sunny, Dr. Mark Sherwood, you know, there are a lot of experts, a lot of articles. You can go to holyhydrogen.com and just click research, scroll down, and you'll see all these blue boxes, and you can just start clicking body parts. And I mean, there's over 1,700 studies on 170 disease models that have been studied for years, and we're just starting to get it. I mean, it is my opinion. And when I say just starting to get it, if I can share, sometimes people ask me, how did the Lourdes Hydrofix get its name, right? Lourdes, people say Lourdes, Lourdes, it's Lourdes, France. I've been there myself, and that's what it's named after. It's this little tiny town about 500 miles south of Paris, and called Lourdes, Lourdes, France. And according to tradition, the Virgin Mary appeared in 1858 to a young girl named Bernadette, and the waters that were there that she was directed to was a spring right there in Lourdes, and the spring was supposed to have healing properties. Now, I'm not making this up. I mean, there are pilgrimages. You just go Google it. Go Google Lourdes and France and pilgrimages, and there's lines. People wait for hours to drink the water. I've been there. I've stood in those lines. I wanted to check it out for myself. This was years and years ago when I was in my early 20s. It wasn't until I put this together that connected these two experiences, and the Japanese went and checked out that water. And it just so happens that it's high in hydrogen.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I was
God.
going to ask.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? It's so exciting. And like you said, you guys have had it for a year, and I mean, the health stories just keep rolling in over and over and over.
Yeah. Hey, maybe could we talk about the newer one has structuring technology, water structuring technology? Is there anything you have about that?
Yeah, the 22 version, and people say, hey, is there going to be a 23 version? We'll let you know. But there's always, I mean, just like tech, we're always looking to improve it, the interface, the usability, from a consumer standpoint. And there's always going to be little changes, updates and things. But one of those is these super nano bubbles and this structured element to it that creates such efficacious, small bubbles of hydrogen that just, again, create that crave. It's like your body just says, more, please give me more. The body recognizes it, right? It's not foreign or anything. I mean,
so being
yeah,
nano and structured in the 2022 model, is that more absorbable to the body then, do you think?
What it allows it to do, at least, again, I'm no scientist, and I'm not a medical professional, but what I'm told with this patented design, that it forces the nanobubbles to move, if you will, downstream in the process. And what that does is it creates powerful vortices, which create the world's first structured hydrogen water. And so to achieve full saturation with this structured water, it makes it more permeable and bioavailable. Because it is so small, it crosses the blood-brain barrier. I mean, we think of antioxidants, right? Because that's a big element, right? We're alleviating oxidative stress, which is essentially the genesis of all diseases. And so this thing, think about it like a super kind of seeking missile going for disease, free radicals. See, and we think, I'm going to eat more blueberries, and you should. They're antioxidants. But a blueberry is like a Mack truck trying to get into me versus this micro, I mean, tiny, the tiniest molecule, number one, that's why it's on the periodic chart. Number one, the smallest. It can go where no blueberry or food or medicine could ever go. And that's why I personally believe it's creating these healing events in such rapid time. I mean, myself, I've got my own story. I try to work out. I know it could look a lot better. I'm trying, but trying to work out, but my hands always ache. And every time after I get home from the gym, I'm sitting there, my wife's watching me at night, I'm rubbing my fingers, I'm rubbing every joint in my fingers. I got on hydrogen water, and I was taking ibuprofen every night, and people are, I know, probably screaming at the screen, no, don't do that. I started hydrogen water. I haven't taken a single ibuprofen since.
Oh, yeah.
My joints,
Uh,
it's like the clock has been reversed, and I've got joints like I was in high school.
Wow.
It is, that's all I can say is
Yeah.
I haven't opened the ibuprofen bottle since I've been on hydrogen water.
That's amazing. That's so good. And that's not only helping, you know, the hydrogen has helped your hands, but then taking away the ibuprofen, it's helping like your liver and like your whole body.
Exactly, Crystal. I mean, there's so many side benefits, and you know, that's why we're so excited about shouting this from the rooftops. I just
Mhm.
want to tell everybody, we got it, we got the quality, and you need it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your body deserves it. It'll recognize it, it'll know what to do with it.
Mhm.
And every story is different, and we'll keep putting our stories out on our Facebook and on our YouTube channel,
Mhm.
Holy Hydrogen, and
And
it's
we're
exciting.
we're all water drinkers. There's not a single human, I don't think,
yeah.
that exists that doesn't drink at least a little bit of water. So why
Yeah.
not add the hydrogen element to it?
Yeah. You
Right.
can't. It only
Yeah.
makes it taste smoother. It's not like it tastes like there's
Yeah, it's
elderberry or something in it. It's just water.
yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
change
exactly.
anything, the flavor or anything. Yeah.
I've got a question, and it might be good to be publicly answered for everyone else out there, especially if they get the machine.
Yeah.
When you fill up the cup and sit it on the counter, how long do you have to drink it
Yeah. I've
until
been
it
told,
evaporates?
yeah, I've been told by my scientists, you get the pitcher. Yeah, I pour it first thing in the morning. Now, granted, when I pour it first thing, I just drink it. I drink like 2 8-ounce glasses on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. Some people
Yeah.
put the cannula on and, you know, either meditate or read or work, you know, on their computer. But when you fill up that cup, to your question, it'll take about an hour in an 8-ounce glass for that hydrogen to dissipate. So at about a half an hour, about half of it's gone. And so
Okay.
when you set the pitcher up, though, once it's ready to go, once you've done either your like 10-minute or a 30-minute cycle, it will sit for 12 hours in the pitcher, and it will be releasing just enough hydrogen to keep it fully saturated at 1.6 parts per million, which is full saturation in water. And so it will just sit there for up to 12 hours. So that's why right before I go to bed, I set it up, I fill it up, I run it through a cycle. And when I wake up first thing in the morning, I have pure hydrogen water ready to go. And then I just keep, you know, setting the cycle throughout the day as needed.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Great question, Nick.
Yeah.
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 You let it charge overnight, so it's ready first thing. So you don't
Yeah,
have to wait
first
the
thing
half
in the
hour.
morning. Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
wait. Yeah, I mean, you could fill up the pitcher halfway and it'll be
Yeah.
ready in 10 minutes because
True.
it's less water that you, right? It needs to saturate. And then you do the full one at, you know, 30 minutes. But yeah, then I wake up, it's ready to go.
Hey, nice. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. Do you want to share any other fun facts or maybe like where people can find the Holy Hydrogen, different
Yeah,
social medias?
I appreciate that, Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, holyhydrogen.com. Check us out on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, holy.hydrogen on Instagram, Holy Hydrogen on Facebook, our YouTube channel, Holy Hydrogen. But go to holyhydrogen.com, check it out, invest in yourself, invest in your best health, and let your body do the miracle. It'll know what to do with hydrogen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. And if anybody is listening and they're interested in their own hydrogen, Holy Hydrogen machine, you can, I'll put a link down below this video and can get one that way.
Perfect. Save a little money, right? We want to save
Yeah.
as much as we can and price it in a manner that we can keep making it available for the market. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we hope to speak with you again. I know we talked a little bit about maybe a future talk with one of the, was it a doctor? Or
Yeah, we've
one of
got
the
Dr.
scientists?
Sunny. I think you
Yeah.
would love Dr. Sunny. She's one of the most just beautiful souls, people
Mm,
I've ever met. And I think it'd be great if your audience could hear again about the science. How does hydrogen interact with the body? How does it actually do its scientific thing? Which,
mhm.
but you know, that's not my specialty at all. I'm just a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we look forward to speaking with her, and it was wonderful to have you here today with us. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Until next time.
until next time.
Hey, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.